The CW is already on thin ice with NASCAR fans, and the Roval is shaping up to be a wild elimination race for the Xfinity Series. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. Hope your day is going well. Real quick, let me tell you about our sponsor. Carrera sent me both of their new Carrera Go Hendrick Motorsports branded slot car sets. The Watkins Glen set, as you can tell, features Kyle Larson and William Byron, and the Talladega set includes Chase Elliott and Alex Bowman. Take a look at these cars. The details on the graphics, it looks like you're racing official die-cast cars. Of course, I had to make an oval of sorts right out the box. I grew up playing with Carrera slot cars. These are sure to make an awesome gift come holiday season. Head to their website. I'll put the link down in the description below. Be sure to check out their Hendrick Motorsports collection. Thank you to Carrera for sponsoring this episode. Let's get to it. First, just a real quick lawsuit update. Yesterday, 2311 and Front Row Motorsports filed a preliminary injunction that, if granted, would allow the teams to race as chartered entries in 2025 as their lawsuit against NASCAR is ongoing. NASCAR has until Wednesday, I believe, to officially respond. A hearing has been scheduled for November 4th. Both teams assured their fans that they will race next year, even if they're forced to enter as non-chartered open teams. They said in a statement, quote, "The 2311 and Front Row teams are fully committed to competing in next year's Cup Series. Today's procedural filing is the next step in advancing our case against NASCAR and their monopolistic practices while protecting our drivers, race teams, and sponsors by establishing our legal right to run in 2025. Obviously, racing without a charter would cost them millions of dollars in purse money and potentially millions more should they lose their charters outright. So we will wait on NASCAR's official response, and then we'll wait and see what the results of next month's hearing turn out to be. We'll see if this injunction is in fact granted. Next, NASCAR fans were sent into a frenzy last night after reporter Adam Stern of Sports Business Journal wrote that the CW is considering having its NASCAR booth call some races next year remotely from NASCAR's new production facility in North Carolina. Don't like that. If I can be completely honest with y'all for a moment, I'm not impressed with the CW so far. Sure, I get that right now they're using NBC talent, NBC graphics, NBC cameras. It's not the CW just yet, but still, I'm not impressed. The CW is an over-the-air broadcast channel. You don't need cable. You don't need to sign up for some exclusive streaming platform. They have many, many deals with local stations across the country. The CW is available in most American households, but the problem is that those local affiliates get to choose what they want to air at a given time. We've already seen in some areas, local CW affiliates have elected to show ACC football games over the Xfinity race. I know I had that issue. I think the first week the CW took over a few races ago. There are still some questions and concerns around streaming the CW, and I've also encountered some issues with the broadcast themselves, skipping, cutting out, freezing. Only seems to be a CW problem. So I'm not impressed so far. The good news is that none of those complaints are with the actual content itself. When I have been able to watch the CW broadcast, they've been pretty good. Again, it's mostly CW crews, cameras, production, but still. I'm concerned that a remote broadcast booth will hurt the content next year. If you've been watching the Truck Series on FS1 the past couple of years, you can usually tell when the broadcast team is at the track versus when they're not. Sometimes it's subtle, but sometimes it's glaringly obvious. The energy, the information they're relaying, it's just not the same. Most importantly, the CW needs people on the ground, on location, to gather information and to accurately share the most important stories from the Xfinity Series garage. Tell me about the characters. Go in depth. That, to me, was the most exciting part about this CW deal. Suddenly, you have a single network dedicated to the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Every week, the same directors, producers, commentators, reporters. It wouldn't be a revolving door of driver analysts. You'd have a dedicated team that can really get to know the Xfinity Series competition. The coverage would be more thorough than ever. That had me extremely excited. A remote broadcast booth would make that more difficult. I'm sure they would still have pit reporters on the ground relaying information, but it just wouldn't be the same. I get that this is a cost-cutting measure across professional sports. Believe me, NASCAR is far from the only professional sport experimenting with remote broadcast booths in recent years. But call me old-fashioned, I want my play-by-play commentators at the track. I believe you need to be in person to accurately convey the energy, the excitement of the event to the fans watching at home. Dale Earnhardt Jr. agrees with me. He responded to this report last night saying, quote, "I hope they do not go remote." Well, at least that gives me confidence that the Amazon and TNT booths will be in person with Dale Earnhardt Jr. at the helm. Let me know if you agree or disagree down in the comments below. Am I making a mountain out of nothing? Let me know down in the comment section below. But now I want to talk about the Charlotte Roval race weekend. As usual, the Cup Series elimination race is the headliner, but if you look at the points, there aren't a ton of interesting storylines here. Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson are virtually locked in. It would take an unusually bad Roval race to knock Alex Bowman out. You've got Tyler Reddick and Chase Elliott near the cut line, but they could realistically run top 5 on Sunday. They're two of the best road course racers in the business. Joey Logano is a decent enough road course racer, and his championship pedigree speaks for itself, but he's 13 points out, and then you got Suarez, Cindric, Briscoe. I mean, don't sleep on Daniel Suarez. He's got 3 top 15 finishes on road courses this year, and his teammate Ross Chastain has been very fast lately, so he's got someone good to bounce notes off of. But that's it for my thorough Cup Series analysis and preview. I want to focus on the Xfinity Series race. The stage is set for this to be one of the most thrilling, most interesting Xfinity Series races of all time. It's an elimination race for them as well. You've got Jesse Love, the rookie, plus 22, Riley Herbst, plus 20, AJ Allmendinger, plus 7, Allgaier on the outside looking in, SVG in the mix. It's tight right there around the bubble. And the names involved. AJ Allmendinger is only 7 points to the good. He has never lost an Xfinity Series race at the Charlotte Roval. Get Wendy's on the phone because AJ is 4 for 4. 4 starts, 4 wins. He also won the Cup race here last year. Insanity. But he's never had to face Shane Van Gisbergen, who's 10 points out. Sure, SVG has never raced at the Roval, at least not to my knowledge, but that hasn't slowed him down this year. He crossed the line second at COTA. He won Portland. He won Sonoma. He won at Chicago. Top 5 at Watkins Glen. I know that they're technically colleague teammates, but SVG versus AJ is going to be must-see TV this Saturday. With a playoff spot potentially on the line, both drivers headed to the Cup Series full-time next year. This rivalry could continue for a couple more years. AJ Allmendinger was once the guy. For many years, the undisputed Xfinity Series road course king. This year, Shane Van Gisbergen has challenged him. I cannot wait to see these two do battle, potentially one-on-one, mano-a-mano, at the Roval this weekend with a transfer spot on the line. And I don't mean to discount Justin Allgaier, who's right in between the two in points. He's 7 points out. The finishes recently have been abysmal, absolutely no luck, all of the above. He's not in AJ Allmendinger or SVG's league when it comes to road course racing, but he's not bad. He was second at Portland earlier this year. I think he was 6th at Sonoma, top 10 at Chicago. He'll be in the mix. You can't count the veteran Justin Allgaier out. He's only 7 points out. And besides Allgaier, I don't mean to overlook Sam Mayer and Parker Kligerman, 13 and 16 points out respectively. Sam Mayer is a 3-time road course winner. He won 3 times last year. Shoot, he's the defending Charlotte Roval Xfinity Series winner. Although granted, neither AJ Allmendinger nor SVG were in that race a year ago. He's not going to go down without a fight. And Parker Kligerman, final few Xfinity races potentially, he's won at Mid-Ohio in a truck just a couple years ago. So he's no slouch at the left and right-hand turns either. That's what I'm saying. This Xfinity Series points fight on Saturday is going to be must-see TV. Like I said, the stage is set for an all-time Xfinity Series race. That's a lot of pressure to put on this event, but I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it. if I didn't think this race has that potential. SVG versus AJ versus Allgaier versus Sam Mayer with a playoff spot on the line, a spot in the round of 8. Can you imagine SVG to the round of 8? Who saw that coming at the beginning of this year? I'm sure not many. So much on the line, so much at stake. Going to be exciting to watch these wheelmen do their jobs on Saturday. So I know the Cup Series, of course, is going to get the most ratings. It's going to get the most headlines because it's the Cup Series, the premier series. I get it, but if you're free Saturday, in between college football kickoffs, tune in to the Charlotte Roval Xfinity Series race. I have a feeling this will be must-see TV. My prediction, SVG gets it done. I know this has been AJ's playground for 4+ years now, but SVG is 3 for 5 this year. He's bested AJ Allmendinger in 4 of the 5 Xfinity road course races this season. I think there's a new king. Saturday afternoon, he will officially claim the throne. That's my prediction. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. There you go. Y'all always ask me to talk more Xfinity, full Xfinity Series promotional segment right there. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more NASCAR content, commentary, race recaps, and more every single day. Big thank you, as always, to my Patreon supporters. I really do appreciate y'all. I also want to extend my best wishes, positive vibes to all the folks impacted by Hurricane Milton in Florida, especially on the west coast of Florida. Central Florida looked like got hit pretty hard. Spent a lot of time in Florida over the years. I have some friends still in Florida, so thinking of them, thinking of all of you impacted by this storm, always scary. Hope everyone is able to come out of this okay. But on that note, thank you for tuning into this video, folks. I will see you again real soon.